tradition and, of course, the society, what role does culture and tradition play in gender inequality?
Do you know that in certain parts of the country, we have over 30%, about 30 to 33, 35% of girls married off before the age of 18 because of the culture. Girl-child marriage, then girl-child labor. We have parents who still believe that the girl child should not be sent to school. It's the boys that carry the name of the family.
That's absurd.
And I ask such a question, I ask some questions. Apart from the people that we read about, maybe in those days, Abraham, maybe all those things that were documented, your own lineage, your forefathers, what did they write about the boys? So it's not about, we're just deceiving ourselves about this lineage. Because as a parent, you are a caretaker. God is the owner of children. So you are the caretaker. So the child that God has given to you to care for, how do you treat that child? How do you take care of that child? Are you selfish? Are you abusive? Are you wicked? Are you self-centered? So we need to look at these things in the right perspectives. So culturally, thank God for education. We realize that those places where we have higher rates of education, there is lesser rates of child abuse and girl-child labor and all that, and early marriage, child marriage and everything. So that is why we go back to education. Let's educate the girls. Let's education be free and fair in all parts of the country. Let everybody know for themselves. Let them learn for themselves. Let them see for themselves how to become better people. Because the last time I checked, the brain of a woman is still the same as the brain of a man. So let us not be the caretaker or the caregiver that is short-circuiting the destinies of some certain people because they are of another gender.
Okay. Is there a way that there can be a balance between tradition and not looking at tradition as an oppression when it comes to gender equality?
The tradition is not what is bad.
Exactly.
But people take advantage. They read a different meaning into things because of their own selfish interest. There's nothing wrong about tradition. Every culture or every part of the world have their own tradition, have their own culture. We all have our own tradition and culture. But it's not the tradition that is wrong. It is not the culture that is wrong. It is people using loopholes and using it to satisfy their own selfish, just like a king that would look at, in those days, that would look at a small girl and say, I've put my leg, I've put my leg. And the girl's family would be forced to marry her off, not minding that this girl does not want to marry an old man that is old enough to be her father. She has her own life to live. So people twist these things. That's why I like the cosmopolitan cities like Lagos or all over, anywhere we have cities where they have laws. So, and just what we need to do about those laws is enforcement. We need to enforce those laws. It's not enough for us to be aware. It's not enough to write the laws down. But how do we ensure that these laws are guiding us truly? These laws are active. These laws are important. These laws are followed and enforced. And what are the consequences for disobedience? So measures need to be taken for enforcement. Measures need to be taken to ensure that there are consequences for disobeying these laws. So when this is put in place, I think that even the naysayers and the negative people will not have another child. They will not have a choice but to follow the right thing.
Okay, some religions, will I say both, even both widely practiced religion here in Lagos, here in Nigeria, says a woman should be submissive to the husband. A lot of feminists have seen that as gender inequality. What does that really mean to you?
Submission is not subjugation. Submission is strength under control.
I like the way you put it. I like the way you put it.
For instance, as a lady, maybe a lady, this lady is talented, she's skillful, she's brilliant, A students, you know, and the husband comes up and say, no work, take care of the homes. So sometimes there should be a balance, a compromise. You know, it's not about being all the way feminist. There should be a compromise because the best life everybody can live is a sacrificial life. If there's a time that you need to make sacrifices for the home, please go ahead and do it. But go back to, I have people that after giving birth to children, they went back to law school. I have one of my mentors, she went back to law school. After having 4 children, she retired as a magistrate in Lagos State. After giving birth to because and she still she said she just loves the law career. She just loves the way people wear that gown and the wig and everything. And so there's nothing. So if you need to take a break for children, you can do that. But by all means, realize your potential. Because the wise man said that the wealthiest place on earth is not Buckingham Palace, is not Aso Rock, is not the gold fields, is not the gold mines, is not the diamond fields. It is the cemetery. Because in the cemetery, we have unwritten books, we have on songs, we have so many untapped potentials that die. So don't be one of those people that will die and enrich the cemetery with what God has given you to do that you did not do. So don't be that person. Make sure that you die empty. All your potential, all your skills, all your talents, make sure that you find a way to express them. So that as you express them, you just realize that you become better and better, and more will be added to you. Before you realize it, you'll be the top of your, you'll be at the top of your game. Another problem is poverty. Poverty, sometimes parents say, let me train the boy child because and leave the girl child. So that is why I want to appeal to governments as much as we can make education free and fair, then we will not have these problems.
Okay, you talked about compromise, you talked about balance, you know. So what is the role of men in achieving gender equality here?
Men are not competitors to women.
Again?
Men are collaborators. As a man, if your wife is doing well, you will be proud of her. Just the same way when your daughter is doing well. If your daughter comes to meet you and say, Daddy, come and see the land I just bought. The same way you'll be happy for her. That's the way you should be happy for your wife. The day she says, honey, come and see the land. We just bought one land through cooperative. So we should stop being self-centered. We are not, let's not play gods in the lives of the people that God has put in our sphere of influence, but rather let us help them. Let us oil them. Let us make them better as men. So men are collaborators. They are not competitors. They are helpers. They are supporters. So I want to challenge every man today. Make sure you mentor a woman today. Make sure you sponsor a woman today. And the best place to start is in your own home with your wife. Charity begins at home.
Okay, you've heard that. Male gender, support your women. It is not a competition. Please do not see a woman who is empowered as your competitor. She is your support. And that leads me to the next question for you. Does financial independence, you know, automatically translate to success for a woman or for gender equality?
No.
No?
No.
Well, you mentioned poverty earlier.
Poverty is part of the problem.
Okay.
But when you have financial independence with no morality, what's that?
True.
So we need to build a well-balanced. It's not just about financial independence. You can be financial independent and you're not doing what you are even supposed to do. When we have a child, you know, some of us parents do it. I wanted to become a doctor. Now that I did not become a doctor, now you, this girl, you must do science. You must go to medical school. You must do this. So it's not about, and she can do it and be successful. But this lady wants to become an entertainer. She wants to become an artist. She wants to draw. So she wants to be financially independent, but she, inside her heart, it's still a dream that has not been birthed. It's still a dream that has not been realized. So it's not just about financial independence is key, but it's not the whole thing. Financial independence, just like I said, without morality, it leads to carelessness. It leads to recklessness. So financial independence is very important. At the same time, we should not lose focus of our goals, our focus in life. The first thing I ask everybody to do is ask yourself, why am I here?
Why am I here?
Why am I here? What problem am I supposed to solve? Who am I? Who am I not? So all these things will make you to, if you know that this is what you're supposed to be, no matter how rich you are, you will still die unfulfilled. Because that yearning, that gift, that calling that is inside of your heart, that is nudging you at all times, you are avoiding it. You are rejecting it. And that is not fulfillment.
Okay, let's talk about work, a workplace environment, and gender equality. Here in LTV, women are the ones at the top, you know. Kudos to us, yeah? Kudos to Lagos State government that allowed that, you know. But in some organizations where we do not have such luxury of, you know, even though they know a woman is fit for that position, they'll say, no, she's a woman. You know, what is the role of organizations in ensuring gender equality, and how can that, you know, be achieved fully all across organizations?
You see, education is not just what you learn in the four walls
of the university.
Sometimes people need to be educated. You can have even CEOs or COOs, and they just feel that, oh, this one should soon go on maternity leave. She said, so let's be empathetic. If this were to be your daughter.
Sorry, do you know, while I was growing up, just before I started to work, I used to hear that in some organizations, there are conditions given to women that, okay, your first 3-4 years, even if you get married, you can have children.
Even you can't get married.
You can't even, so some will say you can't even get married
until you are confirmed
as a woman.
As a woman. And it's not fair. It's not fair. By all standards, it is not fair. Because I like Lagos State, that Lagos State, they're even introducing paternity leave.
Paternity leave,
so that a man will know that it is not only the woman that is supposed to take care of the child when the child is born, when you have a new baby. So it's not fair. Let's be in the spirit of fairness, equity, justice, and in the spirit of knowing that what you sow is what you reap. How will you feel tomorrow when such women now live and they become big people? Recently, I was telling one of my ogas that when I was working at so place, that somebody was so nice to me, treated me like a daughter, and the person wanted to see the boss of that. I said, please give him the opportunity. This man was very good to me. So it's good to be good, because what goes around comes around. So don't just say, oh, I want to use my power. Power is transcends, and all true power belongs to God. One day, the strongest man, the most powerful man, the richest man will be weak, needing help. So what are you going to reap? Sow what you want to reap.
So now let's look at the role of the media. Has the media, whether social media, whether traditional media, have they, you know, helped in strengthening gender equality, or they have, you know, done it otherwise?
From my own perspective, the media, there's a lot of awareness in the media, both traditional media and social media. There's a lot of awareness. People talk about it a lot, and we celebrate women a lot. Mother's Day twice, International Women's Day, Day for Girl Child, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of awareness, but it's time to translate this awareness into practical, that's the practical steps. So let's translate this awareness into practice, into real practice in real world. So the gender, there's still room for improvement.
Exactly.
The media can do better.
Exactly.
The media can do better. They are doing well. It's better than it was, and it can be better. Because Nigeria still ranks very, very low. 124th out of 148 when it comes to gender inclusiveness. So it's still very, very, there's still a long way for us to go. We still have a long way to go in that respect. So the media can do better. And in practice, that's why I love LTVs. You've had back-to-back.
Thank you. Engagements.
And even Lagos State has a lot of parastatals with female heads and everything. But we can do better. We can do better by giving everybody 50-50 chance. I say, the Holy Book said, God made man and woman, male and female. God created man and woman, male and female, created he them. So we are male and female because God created man and he said, no, it is not complete.
Okay, as a coach, okay, go on.
It is not complete.
It is not complete.
Women are the ones that have come to complete creation.
Like it's often said, the men are the head, okay, while the woman is the neck, holding the head or directing the head. So as a coach, you do engage with people, the youth also. Do you think the youth of today really understand, especially the young girls, do they really understand what gender equality is? Because they are the future.
They are the future. The young girls of today, they don't understand so much.
They don't, yeah.
They don't. They don't. They only have limited knowledge about what gender equality is, and it's got to do with exposure.
So what needs to be done?
With the media. Let's create more awareness.
Okay.
Let's be more intentional. Let's, the older woman, mentor younger women. Even as a man, you can mentor younger women. You can be broad-minded. Let's all be broad-minded. Let's mentor people. Let's teach them. Let's raise them the way they ought to know their rights and fight for their rights. Let's raise them. You see, I'm so shocked nowadays because of iPhone that will break. And a woman, a young girl will sell her dignity, that will fall down today and break, or the wig, so. That is another conversation for another day. So it's because they are not well trained. They don't value themselves. When you value yourself, you know that what you carry, by the time you harness all the skills, all the God-given talents that God has given you, when you reach the best of your potential, you can even be a distributor or open a factory that manufactures wigs because you are an accomplished lady. And that's why I tell the young girls, make sure you give. Before you can be at the same level with the man in this society, you must go the extra mile. So go the extra mile. There's a girl in Unilag that I was mentoring at the time, and the lecturer failed her because that was a long time ago, not the Unilag of today. Let me not say so that doesn't happen in Unilag. Lecturer failed her because she did not cooperate with him in some certain way. And she recalled her paper, she asked for her paper, and it was remarked, and she passed because she had confidence. But if you are the one that you are in the exam, number 5, number 2, be intentional.
Those that do not value themselves.
Yeah, be intentional about your life. Be intentional. Make sure that as a woman, if you want to be successful, go the extra mile. Because if you don't go the extra mile, how will you succeed?
How will you succeed? And just before we go, let's talk about the special seats bill that is being proposed at the National Assembly. There's this debate going on about the reserved seats for women bill, seats for women in the National Assembly. It proposes creating 74 additional legislative seats. As the case stands now, we have 20 women out of 469 members in the National Assembly. That's about 4.3%. We have 4 female senators out of 109. We have 16 House of Representatives members out of 360 members. So what's your take on the special seat bill?
It's a welcome development.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the day that the Senate president will be a woman.
Hey, well, we've had a speaker, a female speaker in the
Yes,
past.
I know we've had a speaker, Mrs. Ete.
Patricia Ete.
Patricia Ete. I'm also looking forward to the day the #1 person in Nigeria will be a woman. But it's not only in Nigeria. I remember years ago in America when it was Hillary Clinton and
just how many years ago we had Kamala Harris?
Yes, Donald Trump. And people were saying that America would have the first male black president before they have the first female president. And it's so true.
And it has happened.
Because it's happened. Obama became the president and Hillary Clinton is yet to become the president. So it's a worldwide thing, but it's getting better. So I love that to happen in Nigeria because so many women are going into politics now. It's gone are those days where women say, oh, it's a dirty game. I don't want to soil my hands. Let me just be staying at home and be praying for them. You now realize that people that you don't want, that you don't really want to lead you. Policies that you don't like is what they make for you. So women want to come out and say, we want to be part of the policy makers, we want to make the policies, we want to be part of the execution of the politics. And, you know, I'm not biased, but anything you give to a woman...
There's nothing even wrong with being biased.
It's multiplied.
Promote your gender.
Give a woman a seed and she will give you a baby.
Yeah.
Whatever you give to a woman, she multiplies it.
Yeah.
So everything that you give to a woman, and even when it comes to corruption, you realize that the percentage of women that are being proven to be corrupt are less. So everything, we have so many beautiful things about it, but please give women a chance. When we give the woman a chance, you'll see that truly what a man can do, a woman can do better. Because women will not only do it better, they will go the extra mile and they will add that milk of kindness and compassion, that's thing that God has put inside every woman to be loving, to be kind, to do it empathically, to do it lovingly, and to do it with kindness. So let's give women a chance across all strata of the society.
I must clap for you first. And this conversation has not ended. We are calling for a part 2, and we are asking you now to come back. Are you going to commit to that?
By God's grace, I believe we'll choose a day that is which we will, free on my calendar.
We'll work ahead of that. Thank you very much, Coach Funmi Omotoso, organizational psychologist and success coach. And we've been discussing gender equality and prospects. Gender equality is not just an idea, it is a collective effort both by the man and the woman. So the woman, I think it's that phrase we say, the one you just mentioned, what a man can do, a woman can do better. I think that is what makes it look as if, you know, both genders are competing. No, it is not.
It is not.
We'll be right back after this short break.